Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to install a Rocky Road Outfitters kit, lift kit, 2 1/8 inch on this 2017 Jeep Patriot. Now I don't have a lift, so I'm doing this with mostly hand tools and an air compressor, but I haven't installed one of these before, so hopefully it goes okay. So this is what comes in the Rocky Road Outfitters kit. You get 2 sway bar relocation brackets, a camber kit for the front, 2 adjustable trailing arms for the rear. You get your rear spacers and your front spacers, and of course a hardware kit. So let's dig in and have some fun. Alright, first things first, obviously you have to remove the tires, and hopefully everybody knows how to do that. I'm sure if you don't, there's plenty of videos on here that show you. So we're gonna start with the rear first. So first thing, you have to remove the spare tire cover there to get to your rear strut bolts, which are right in here, which is kind of hard to do with one hand, so I will be right back. Okay, correction. The bolts or the nuts are not actually in here. They're actually right in there. There's one. The other one, of course, is back there. You can't really see it, but it's there. So I decided it'd be easier if I just took the whole spare tire kit out. And of course, on the other side, right there. So there we go. We're getting there. All right. After you get the 2 top strut bolts, strut nuts removed, now we're gonna have to come down here and remove the lower strut bolt, which right there, that is an 18, and then there's one right there. And all right, we got the strut loose. Now we're gonna have to take off this upper control arm or trailing arm, however you want to call it, which is right here, and replace it with the one they gave us. So there's a bolt and a nut here, and then of course there's one way back there. Make sure when you're doing it to support the lower control arm. It's always a good idea. Yeah. All right, we got the upper or trailing control arm off, which is right here. And here is the new adjustable trailing arm. So obviously without an alignment, it's not going to be exact, but how I do it is line up the holes there, and it's pretty darn close. So try to get it as close as you can, and then you should go and get an alignment right after anyways. Correction, on the new arm, I just read the instructions and it says it has to be about 1/8 of an inch shorter than the stock arm. So make sure you read your instructions. That's always a good thing. All right, now that we got the strut out, it was a little bit of a pain. I had to use the pry bar and pry down pretty hard to get that strut to come out because it kept getting caught. But now that we got it out, I got the spacer on top, and then I'm going to use the provided nuts to tighten it down. All right, we have the spacer installed. Now all we got to do is get it back up to where it's supposed to be. So hopefully that's a lot easier than it was taking it out, but I doubt it. Or I'm going to have to push down on it because you don't have enough, and then you're going to have to try to stick that back up there. We're almost there. All right, well, we got it back in there. It was a little bit of a pain, but at least it's in there. And they don't tell you in the instructions, but go ahead and take out the sway bar link there, because it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. I guess if you had a spring compressor, that would make it a lot easier too, but oh well. All right, so now we are going to install the upper control arm here. Hopefully that should go in pretty easy. And if I didn't mention it, most of these bolts are either a 17mm or an 18mm, so it's been pretty easy. Alright, so we put it back up top. I put the bolts back up top. Now I'm putting the lower strut back in. And I gotta put the control arm back in. And we will be good. Alright, we are all put back together now. I'm not so sure about this though, because it's mighty close to the spring, but that's the way it's supposed to go on. So, and the other one's the same exact design, so it's kind of weird. But we're all put back together, so now I'm going to go on to the other side. I'm not going to film that side because it's basically the same thing, and then we'll move on to the front. Well guys, the back is finished, and now we are on to the front. So the first thing is to remove the sway bar, or the sway bar links. We also are going to disconnect the brake lines, and I think that will be it for now before we take off these bolts. And then the top strut mount bolts. Let's get started. Alright, now we are going to disconnect the tie rod, which is an 18. Pressure on it. sometimes you might have to put some pressure on it to get the bolt out, or you could use what looks like a 10mm if you're just using a regular wrench. Well, that is out. Okay guys, now we are going to take out these two top and lower strut mounts, nuts, bolts, and let's get started. And these are 22mm or 21mm. Okay, well, looks like we're gonna have to use some muscle. There we go. Well, now we're gonna come up here and disconnect or remove these nuts on the top that hold the strut in.
You know what to do though, right?
Yep.
Are you almost done?
Yeah. Alright guys, these Alright guys, there we go. Now the strut can be removed. Alright, the strut is out and the strut spacer is now in. And we are tightening it down. It will only fit on one way, so you can't really get it wrong. And the nuts are 17mm. There we go. She's all installed. At least the spacer is. So now we're gonna go put it back in.
Hold it up here first, right? Before you do anything else. You want a nail on this?
When you put the strut back up, it's a good idea to have your nuts right there waiting, so that way you can hold it in there. Alright, so we got our camber kit installed, everything hooked back up where it's supposed to go, besides that bracket. And we're gonna install the sway bar relocation bracket now. Alright, we got the sway bar relocation bracket installed. So to install this, it's pretty easy. It goes on behind the mount just like this, and then you just put the bolt and nut in the bottom one, and then the sway bar link goes in the top. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Alright guys, there she is, all finished. Now as you can probably see, the rear tires are kind of really cambered. So it's going to need an alignment very bad. And next Saturday we're going to be putting new tires on it. and getting an alignment done on it, so it should look a whole lot better. But as you can see, it's definitely higher than a stock one. So there's about a couple more inches there.